So I am currently now on my way to AutoZone because I need to get a couple tools, and also I'm going to try and get my hands on an air intake, see if I can get that delivered here today, because if I can order it now and have it shipped here for like the 12 o'clock run, that would be fantastic. Because then, because I know it'd only take about a half hour to do that, I could have that done, and then after I order that, get some breakfast, and then go buy a head unit for my stereo system. Once that's done, start installing speakers in this head unit in question. By the time we're done with all that, intake should be here, and basically everything aside from the CV will be done with Raika-Chan. And then once the CV gets done, then it will go to Richmond. So, update as far as where we're at for the day. The air intake has been ordered. Sadly, it won't be here today, but it will be here on Tuesday. So good news there. And we've also been able to procure our head unit. I'm actually on my way to another store to pick up the wiring harness, but this is the head unit in question. It's a Kenwood system, and it's actually quite a good system, to be honest with you. This is definitely a cut above the Sony. I'll give you my full opinion, review, and all of that once it's installed and we get a chance to listen to it. We'll be pairing that with the K-Series CS65 kicker speakers. So basically the difference between the two is that one's just a next cut above, like a slightly higher end version. Because as you guys know, this car, Mitsu-chan, runs on CS65s with a Sony head unit, which honestly I've had no complaints about the Sony head unit. I love it. It sounds great. It looks good. It blends right into the car. So I'm very curious to see how the Kenwood system is going to act and perform in the new car with the better speakers. So we'll see how this goes. This particular head unit, I was told, has a better dynamic range, and I'll give you guys my full opinion when they're fully installed. So real quick, while I have a moment before I go and plug in all these wires to the back of the head unit, for the full installation of any kind of head unit into a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer, all of that will be found in Mitsu-chan's upgrade, so I'll leave a link in the description below of how to do that. Same thing also goes for the speakers in question as well. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It's just color matching the ends of these wires and these plugs into the new head unit and putting that into the car. One thing I will say before we get into installing the head unit in question is that you can install a head unit without installing new speakers, but I never recommend installing speakers without installing a new head unit. Just because the head unit honestly serves as both a power source for speakers of multiple sizes, whereas speakers need more power when you go up and get new speakers, and oftentimes stock head units cannot handle the power that is needed to make them sound good. So now that the connections have been made and the rubber glue is setting in, we're actually going to start working on taking apart part of the dash so that we can do two things. One of those is actually fix the dimmer switch. For some reason it's either unplugged or disconnected, and we're going to use some of this if we need to. You remember how we found that weird wiring a couple weeks ago? This stuff, remember all this? Guess what it's attached to? Yep, a turbo timer. So not sure if this was installed right or wrong. All I know is this doesn't go in here, and I'm going to bring this to Richmond with me so that I can show it off to David and see what he thinks. But more importantly, I'm going to pick you guys up for this. I found out why the dash did not work at night. Let me show you. It looks like when they put in the dimmer, or not the dimmer switch, but that turbo timer, they unplugged the dimmer switches. So these two pieces go in here, and figuring out which one is going to take a little bit of trial and error. Obviously not much, because there's only two plugins that could work on. So yeah, if you ever find that, be aware that's what it's from. See that little metal bar, that little rusty section right there? On a Lancer, that's where you would reach your fingers up and push the faceplate, this thing, out. Instead, on here, you have to use your knife to pry it around the edges so that you can get these clips unclipped. Stock system, aftermarket system. Alright, so it's been a couple days. Sadly, some of the footage that I had shot and saved up and stored up became corrupted. So, yeah, we've lost some footage and I apologize. But there is good news still nonetheless. So where we're at right now, we've done both doors and the rear deck speakers. I just have to screw in the little shields that Mitsubishi has for their speaker deck. And we've started the process for putting in the short ram system, which for more details on the installation of the short ram, we're actually going to have a separate episode in Mitsuchan's upgrades to handle that particular installation, because obviously it is different from a Lancer, and we want to show you guys how to do this because it's a really easy modification to do. I would have shown the exhaust because it's really simple, but unfortunately, because of some issues that I had with basically rusted on bolts, I could not unfortunately film that for you because I don't have a torch of my own, although I am looking into getting a new tool that does specifically that stuff. But otherwise, here today we're going to try and get the head unit working because for some reason it just doesn't want to work. We're also going to get that short ram installed, and we're going to look into something that my friend Chuck pointed out, because the car itself, when you would shift, felt like it would hit the gear instead of slide into the gear. So we thought it might be the sliders. Well, my friend Chuck says it might be actually the shifter bushings, not the unit in question. There she goes. Alright, so after having worked most of my morning working on this car, the EVO, for a change I actually got them to park side by side, which was really nice. Opening up the hood so you guys can see what progress we made. Took a while because, you know, when it comes to this type of custom modification work, it's never easy, and more importantly, it's never exactly as you remember it's supposed to be like. So, let me show you. This is what we've done today. Got the air intake system from AEM. The guys in California, they're amazing. Put the carb sticker on here instead of on the pipe, because you can't really see the pipe thanks to this giant intercooler piping for the big intercooler. So, oh, check this out, guys. We got lanyards in, and I'm really excited because these are actually really nice lanyards. Dang, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of these from now on. So Ishmael and I decided to order some lanyards through a company called Fast Custom Lanyards. There you go. And we decided to get some key rings, lanyards, whatever you want to call them, for our car keys and whatever else. And we decided to get Rant Society ones. What is the Rant Society? The Rant Society are you guys. The people that watch, the people that follow, the people that check us out on Instagram and see what we're up to. These, we decided to make a couple of these just to start kind of getting our name out there. Car Rant. And the people that support us, the people that ride with us, the people that roll with us, the Rant Society. I just want to show this off. This is Ishmael's, which I actually really like this black and gray look. And then this is mine, to go with the original season 1 banner style, which was red with the white lettering over the top. So just a little bit of a throwback right there, and maybe a possible future, we'll see. But I just want to show these off before we end today's video, because these are pretty dope. So just as a bit of an update, because I never did actually get to finish this video, I apologize. The air intake system has been put in, we have the door speakers in, we have the deck speakers in. Now all that's left is to fix the transmission issue. One of the linkage bushings is a little bit either stuck or it's just not moving right. So we'll have to step in there to fix that. And then also the front passenger axle still needs to be put in. So there's a couple things left that we need to do, but we're almost there, almost ready to go take this car to get it tuned and the day that happens, I'm gonna be so ecstatic and excited because this has just been a process. It's been expensive, and I'm glad that it's coming to an end, to be honest with you. I'm glad that we are almost to the point where we can finally reveal the car and do it right and just, you know, just make it look amazing. I'm looking forward to the day that that can happen, and I'm hoping and praying that happens soon. All that said, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting throughout this whole process of trying to get Raika-Chan to run and to function properly. It has been a challenge. It has not been easy at all. And I can't thank you guys enough for the support and the viewership and the subscribership that we've been getting thanks to this project, this process. So hoping everything works out. And again, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on another episode of Car Rant. Peace. And all that fun stuff. Can you all see me now? Alright, so now that the lawnmower, the air intake is in, all 4 doors are in, all 4 speakers are in the doors rather. Start that over.